The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys! This is Media Mash,
A roundtable of Cowboys insiders,
dropping wisdom
and offering sizzling takes
on the current state of your Dallas Cowboys.
Now, your host,
Newy Scruggs.
Media Mash coming to you from the Star in Frisco, world headquarters of the Dallas Cowboys, the SWC Podcast Studio Center. We got Shock Taylor looking good today. Good. I love the buttons that go with the suit looking good.
Appreciate
Get
you,
ready to make moves.
Look like an expensive shirt too.
Hey, Shock
Been
Taylor.
making moves, baby.
You know, you stay making moves, man. You stay ready.
It
That's
looks
good stuff.
expensive. Is it expensive?
It look like expensive, expensive shirt there.
Can't hide money, Ed.
I'm talking about the shirt, not
custom.
not the
custom
jacket.
in
I'm talking
there.
about the shirt. The
Is that a
shirt
reveal suit, sir? Yes, sir, my boy.
What do you
Carlton
leave those
Dixon.
laying around somewhere and got to go to Lost and Found and claim it? That's why it's got your name on it.
Baby, no reveal suits. Baby,
You
Carlton
know, you
Dixon.
never
Have
know.
you put your name on
It's a
your
cult-
clothing
it's a cultural
since like kindergarten?
Cultural thing.
The man that makes the the orange blazers for the Basketball Hall of Fame and Soccer Hall of Fame, and that's his company. Carlton Dixon, former UT Longhorn.
former Lincoln Tiger.
I'm so old, I covered Carlton in college, so he's killing it in the game. So we did a story on him, but just outstanding young man. He is the Hall of Famer, Ed Werder here. Appreciate you being here, Ed. Ed, you got on your
Basic white shirt.
That customary ESPN look right there, baby.
I don't usually wear white
You used
shirts,
to have it, go
but
ahead
this
and
is just too comfortable, and I'm just going to throw a coat on to do 2.5
Grilling
minutes
Mike
of TV.
McCarthy.
I'm taking the easy way out.
grilling McCarthy today when he let you finish the question.
I mentioned that they were in the middle of a 3-game losing streak, and he objected. Like, thanks for bringing that up.
Oh,
Ed, stop with your facts, Ed.
just like a Wade moment.
Yes, and the man is getting ready for a fantastic show tonight. Cowboys and Chill. Clarence Hill is here, already looking good. Love the Omega Sci-Fi pin. What is that? What's that, sir? Go ahead, explain to that massive.
Y'all got new swag.
podcast.
All
City
Dallas, our logo, our shirt, wearing our custom gear, man. We get you one.
You don't have enough chest to put two more letters on there and spell it correctly?
No, that's our brand. That's our brand. DLLS.
Can you explain that, DLLS?
DLLS. It's all City Dallas, and just like Philly, PHLLY. We don't use vowels. Denver, DNVR. DLLS, Dallas.
No vowels. Okay.
No vowels.
It's like Wheel of Fortune, baby.
No vowels. No
Vanna,
vowels.
I'd like to buy a vowel.
And unlike Ed, I'm good for more than 2.5 minutes.
Is that what she said?
So we are starting there. You guys went out of your way to start there.
I'm Newy Scruggs. And
That's all he's giving WFA today. I mean, that's what he said. I'm just piggybacking. Let's go with the
I
role.
think I'm going to have to step out.
and he says I'm the hater.
We're not hating. It's fun. It's use it. Use it all. I'm like Jerry Jones. Use it all. Use it all.
And what time's your event tonight? Your Cowboys and Chill.
And I
Tell
got
everybody
the great Joe Trey from Channel 8 come over about Cowboys and
I
Chill.
thought Joe was sick, and that's why he's not doing his live shot with me tonight.
Listen,
Hey,
listen.
no trouble in the family.
Listen. He is sick earlier today, but he hasn't told me he was cutting out on me.
I just told you.
So, anyway,
If I were
Cowboys
you,
and
you
Chill
might
Echo
want to
Lounge.
schedule Michelle Montaigne.
You might want to check your text messages.
We're going to check that. But you know what? Let's get into this Cowboys locker room today.
Oh, he's done with it now.
He's done with it. It's called transition there. Okay.
But you've been here. The mood of the team is kind of down. I mean, they saying all the right things, but there's not energy. Like practice the last couple of days, there's not a lot of energy in practice. Mike McCarthy talked about it this morning that, guys have to show by example rather than say it. A lot of talk. It's like the energy is down, their dauber is down, of course. Obviously,
False chatter. You call it false chatter.
yeah. They're saying the right things.
Which you
of
could not
course.
define afterward, by the way.
Yeah, they're saying the right things. Obviously we believe in Cooper, but and it's funny because CD talked about getting punched. And I seem like you've been punching him out all season. Which you're 3-5, right on a 3-game losing streak. Ed pointed out they have not won at home. What's there to feel good about?
Nothing. And that's why they down in the dumps. They know what's up. Maybe the front office lies to themselves, but the players not. They see the film. They know what's up. But there's only one way to solve your problem: man up and go play.
Yeah, get a win. That's what Jordan Lewis was talking about. We just got to win. You were over there. We just got to find a way to get a win.
It's the most astounding thing that a team that wins 16 straight regular season home games has lost 4 straight, hasn't won a home game yet, been embarrassed in 2 of them. Like if at the end of the season, Jerry actually sits down and has to make a case about whether he's firing Mike McCarthy or not, I would think that's going to be a prominent factor. It's just how badly they've been beaten at home, if it hasn't already been predetermined.
Mike McCarthy going to say, you didn't give me my team till September, so it ain't really my fault, boss man.
Well,
that's what he going to say.
Boss man will also remember the calendar year the Green Bay Packers came here and against a team, a playoff team that you thought was going to do something and dismantled
Right,
it.
but
You should have fired him then.
Isn't the natural reaction to something like that when you're the general manager to say, oh, my team is not nearly good enough. This will never happen again.
Right.
I'm going to make sure that I improve the talent level.
So, yes, but the general manager is also the owner. And I've long since said to people, hey, I want my GM to be a guy who's like, no, the glass is half full. And water might be dirty, might even be a crack on the glass. I don't know how clean it is. The fine if the owner is, you know what, that glass is half full. The water's fresh. We've tested it. I feel good about it. But when you got those 2 dudes in the same thing, the owner wins out every time. And that's been
the
a
owner
problem.
lies to the GM.
I don't know how either, if you're the owner or the general manager, much less the owner and the general manager, and watch that and think, we'll be just as good next year, even if we don't have as good a roster.
But he did.
Because he can't never get fired.
This is true.
There's no accountability.
Well, he could, but he's not going to.
Well, not if Steven wanted a trust fund.
All City, most trusted reporter. What you
Listen, I got nothing to add because we've been talking about the fake all in since February, and then he goes in last week, and after the Falcons game, he went into the locker room personally to tell the players, I've been in a bad spot before, and I've seen guys come out. I've seen guys come out of this and win Super Bowls. He talked about the Michael Irvin years and all this other stuff, and
30 years
and then he
ago,
said,
dog.
"I'm not quit. I'm still all in, and we got some things happening. We're gonna make a trade."
And they did.
It did.
For
Just
next year.
like in 2018, the only time they've started 3-5 and made the playoffs, they went out and traded for a receiver at the deadline.
Amari Cooper, and Amari Cooper ain't walking through that door.
He
That's
didn't
not what They
either.
didn't trade. That did not trade for him.
No, but Mingo,
Speaking of that, Mingo did walk through the door.
Jonathan Mingo, he's here.
Yeah,
Practice
walked
today.
through the door, practice today.
Talk
Big
to
man.
us.
First thing the city said was, that dude is big as hell. He's a big guy. He just hasn't had a lot of production. He talked to us today, said that he's looking. This is a fresh start, and and he happy to be with a team with a team that believes in him. He didn't want to go into what went wrong in Carolina.
Okay, let me
You
ask
got to ask them.
You think they didn't believe in you when they drafted you in the second round? Like, you think they didn't believe in you, dog? Come on, man.
Just tell you what the man
They just
said.
had a youth movement up there in Carolina, and he apparently wasn't a part of the youth movement.
He's 23.
It's pretty hard to judge anybody in Carolina.
He caught
Like-
43 balls as a rookie.
Okay.
And then
He's
he's got
played for
12
3
and
head
9.
coaches already, right?
I
McCarthy's his 4th head coach.
They got an undrafted free agent playing in front of him this year, though.
Okay, well, he's a better player. Just because you get drafted doesn't mean you
Right,
can't be
and that's
beaten out
really
for
the
a
problem.
spot.
That's the problem.
Well, maybe that gets his attention.
They got 7th-round pick David Moore, not that David Moore, this other David Moore.
Now,
who's
this
also-
David Moore can outplay him. We got problems.
that other David Moore is playing in front of him too.
One of the interesting things, if I could point out here, is McCarthy. Now, we don't know if McCarthy's going to be here next year, right,
Exactly.
to coach this
We don't
kid.
know.
But one of the things he did exceptionally well in Green Bay was turn 2nd-round receivers into 1st-round players. Devontae Adams, Randall Cobb,
Jordy Nelson.
Jordy Nelson, Greg Jennings. Pretty remarkable
Let's just
history with 2nd-round receivers.
Well,
Whether
we
he's
could-
here to do the same thing or whether this kid's capable of that, I don't know.
let me go down that path with you. Do you see a pathway for him to be here next year?
Who, McCarthy?
Yeah.
Or Mingo?
McCarthy.
McCarthy.
Not that I know of.
No, I'm serious. Like this.
I really
I
don't.
don't really see a pathway for him to be here.
I don't know what if 12-5 is not good enough 3 years in a row. How is 3-5 good enough?
Yeah.
And whatever that turns into.
Yeah. And so he's basically piggybacking on your question of we don't know if he's going to be here. We kind of know.
Well, I'm just saying. I can't. I'm not just going to assume the guy's not
Well,
here.
no, that's why I asked you if you saw a pathway.
No, I don't.
Yeah, I mean, because you sit up here and you think like, nah. But
Well, the problem is that there's, and you can say this is not McCarthy's fault, but how can you sell an extension to the fan base?
You're going down the same road I was getting ready to say.
Even if you wanted to say that, how can you sell this to the fan base?
We've seen this before. When it doesn't go the way you think, somebody has to be offered up.
Oh, yeah.
The owner still owns the team. The owner will never offer up the general manager position to anyone else, so it's going to be the coach. Fans are now mad at the owner. We've seen this. And so when the fans get mad at the owner, he's going to go and make a move. One time when he was mad, when fans were mad at the owner after 5-11 seasons and he wanted to get a new stadium, he went out and hired Bill Parcells, who wrote in his book he'd never worked for him. And they found a way to work together. Each of them needed something. Jerry's going to need to get his fan base back. And as much as I like Mike McCarthy, and I think all of us enjoy working with Mike, Mike's been
I think he's a good coach.
I think he's a good
He's had
person.
2 losing seasons in 18 years where he didn't lose his quarterback.
Right.
Yeah, so but we know therein lies the change, and the contracts are up. So that most likely,
And that was done deliberately. It
Right.
was a deliberate decision to have no financial interest in any of these coaches after this season.
yeah.
Right.
So he undermined his team from the start.
So here's the
people are
question.
uncomfortable. It made it uncomfortable.
Here's the question I can't resolve. If you knew this was going to happen, if you knew you were going to fire the coach in all likelihood after one more season, and you were going to undermine his efforts to win by not improving his roster, what was the point of it? What's the point? Why throw a season away? Why, did they want to hire Bill Belichick last year and Belichick wanted a year off? What's the reason that you didn't just fire McCarthy after the Green Bay loss?
You tried it with Jason Garrett once, and he goes 12-4, wins Coach of the Year. So they tried it once there, and it worked. And then I think this last year he didn't give him anything, and it didn't work. So I don't know, Ed. That's a good question.
But again, it's been said, and certainly Tim Callis, I wrote in the column today, he set him up for failure. So to say he can go 12-4, I mean, how?
Yeah.
You didn't improve the team.
Correct.
You did nothing to improve the team. And listen, I understand committing to Dak and CD, but they were already on the team. You made a financial commitment to Dak and CD, and you signed them, but they were going to be on the team regardless. What did you do to improve the team from that Green Bay loss?
The draft.
To help Mike get,
that was it.
Yeah, and that was a crapshoot because you got rid of veterans and on the offensive line, and your offensive line is worse because you bet on rookies. And so, again, that did not improve the team from a talent standpoint for this season. Long-term, maybe. Not this season.
So Jerry's 82 years old. He doesn't really have seasons to give away. At least I wouldn't think so if I were 82 years old.
You don't know how much money he's got.
But, he wants to win, doesn't he?
Yeah, but
So
he may be able
what was
to
the
buy
point? What was the point of all this?
He may be able to buy another decade of life.
What was the point of throwing a season away? If that's what you're describing.
He's talking about throwing the season away, though.
Yeah, I don't know that he thought he was throwing it away.
Really?
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, what?
Well, you're talking to the eternal optimist. You know what I'm saying?
There you go. True.
The guy who wears rose-colored Ray-Ban. I mean, the guy who listens to Zig Ziglar on his way to sleep every night. It's the eternal optimist.
You can have everything you want if you help enough other
That's
people.
what I'm talking about. Man
Love
who
some Zig now.
gets high on hopium.
You're a winner.
Who snorts hopaine.
You're born to win. You're born to win.
So he'll think he just convinces himself of these things. There's an issue when you see the best of everything all the time. Like you never see the downs. You always find a way for it to be positive because you're the ultimate salesman. It's not a raggedy car. Look at this. Look at the shine. Remember this car?
Yeah, but you got to do something to
You don't
shine
think
it
he's
up.
realistic
You gotta
enough as
do
a football
something.
guy
He's done
to-
some things to be successful.
You
He
can't
did
watch that Green
nothing-
Bay game and say, let's run it back with less.
He did nothing to help himself out. In the past, he's done some things to help himself be successful, whether that's oil prospecting or everything else. He's taking chances on some things, boom or bust. There was no taking a chance on nothing because he did nothing to take a chance on.
Said he didn't have any money.
You mean cap space?
Remember, Derrick Henry, was it 2-3 weeks ago when he was back on the fan and said, hey, look, he went into Derrick Henry before Sean Sharif could even ask and Bobby could ask. And so he basically said, we had no money. We had to sign Dak. We had to sign CD. So in some ways, I guess he's trying to tell you he went as all in as he could from a financial standpoint. Clarence is not believing that, but I'm just telling you, that's what he said. I'm not saying it's the truth, but this is what he told the fan base. And the silence is deafening.
Well, it didn't just have to be Derrick Henry. There
Exactly.
were a lot of other. Could have been Joe
Tony
Mixon,
Pollard was out there.
Aaron Jones.
There's a lot of running backs out there.
Kareem Hunt.
Saquon Barkley was a free agent.
Well,
Kareem Hunt.
I'm looking at J.K. Dobbins, 1 year, $1.6 million.
Right.
You know, and he's the 11th
Chargers,
leading rusher in the league right now for the Chargers. Yes, but they wanted Ezekiel Elliott back here. So, yes, there are, as I said before on Channel 5, the GM has not been GMing this year. The GM has not had.
What's happened to this team is more the fault of the general manager by far than it is the head coach. But like you said, performance doesn't matter. Not everybody's job is based on performance.
The GM will be here. The owner will be here.
Do you think Belichick would perform here?
Would he come here?
No. Could he make this?
Could he function here?
Yeah.
Yes and yes.
Why do you say that?
Because Bill did.
Let's take a break and dive.
Now, I don't want to be accused of
and I was going to say,
taking over.
No.
I got accused of that once earlier this week.
Actually, you know what? Cooper Rush did talk. We do need to talk about the starting quarterback. Let's dive into that next right here on the Media Mash on DallasCowboys.com.
Back finds Pearson. It's caught. Touchdown.
The Dallas Morning News delivers full press coverage of the Cowboys.
Aikman straight drop, throws it over the middle. Irvin in for the touchdown, Cowboys.
We cover your Cowboys from the preseason to the postseason and beyond.
Boot to the right. Looking down the field. Lamb. Victory.
Game by game, play by play. No one delivers your Cowboys like the Dallas Morning News. Connect deeper to the Dallas Cowboys with the Dallas Morning News.
I'm Cowboys alumni Danny McCray, here with Smoothie King asking, what's that sound? That's the sound of me sipping one of their power-packed smoothies with over 10 grams of protein. With real fruits and organic veggies, because at Smoothie King, what you see is what you sip. So grab a delicious Smoothie King smoothie, throw a straw in your jaw, and get sipping real. Smoothie King, the official smoothie of the Dallas Cowboys.
To kick off the 2023 NFL season, Hugo Boss teamed up with the NFL and Micah Parsons to launch an iconic apparel collection featuring hoodies, crews, t-shirts, polos, joggers, and more. The bold, unique apparel of the Boss NFL collection unites football and fashion while reflecting what it truly means to be a boss. Get yours today at nflshop.com/HugoBoss, at HugoBoss.com, and at Boss retail stores. #Be your own boss.
Hey Cowboy fans, I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. But lately, I've been learning a new game, crypto. Sound confusing? Don't worry, even us pros were rookies in crypto once. That's why I trust blockchain.com. They make crypto easy. No confusing jargon, just the tools to help you win.
Prescott keeps it, slides with a first down.
Invest like your icons, where everyone is a rookie in crypto with blockchain.com.
Perfect throw, my goodness. Wow, did he ever thread the needle.
Visit blockchain.com/Cowboys to get started.
Back to Media Mash.
Media Mash right here from the Dallas Cowboys headquarters, SWC podcast studio. We got the author Jean-Jacques Taylor, the Hall of Famer Ed Werder, and the most trusted man in all of Dallas Fort Worth media. He is Clarence Hill and Micah Parsons. I saw you track down Micah right before you left the locker room. When is the appearance on the Micah podcast?
We'll see, man. We'll see. We're working on that. Working through negotiations.
Y'all in negotiations?
Negotiations.
Some product trading out here, or what do you think?
I always take cash. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I guess all city Dallas different now, right? You can do different things you couldn't do at the Star Telegram, right?
Hey, man.
Takes cash to buy a vowel.
Hey, man.
It does.
What you got, man? What are we talking about? What we going
Quarterback?
to?
Well, you know, he's in
Cooper
deflection
Rush
mode today. That's twice now.
I'm not deflecting. Let's move on with the show.
He ain't never wanted to move up.
Don't let El Jefe do what he want to do. Cooper Rush spoke today and said
all the right things. I'm ready to go. I'm prepared. I'm confident. You know, it's funny that Babe was on the radio today, and he brought up an interesting point. As important as the backup quarterback is, the Cowboys gave the backup quarterback no reps in preseason, or limited reps in the preseason, and knowing that he may be one injury away from playing. And it's an interesting he's had success in the past, but he's also had a lot of reps in the preseason.
Because they dedicated it to Trey Lance.
Because they dedicated to the third quarterback. But the backup quarterback, we overlook like, hey, we know what we got. Do we know what we got in him?
Yeah.
I mean, we know what we got in 2022.
Well, you saw him play for a half last week. He looked like the same guy.
Okay, I'm just saying though.
I think the team around him is not nearly as good.
When you're preparing a team for the season, shouldn't you give your backup more reps than the third quarterback?
How much reps in preseason gonna matter?
I don't know. I'm just saying
when all you talk about is you made a big investment in Trey Lance, and we don't know if he can play because he's never played. Let's play him. And if you're the owner, you're thinking, well, this is a new element in my negotiations that I've always lost with Dak Prescott. Maybe I can create a little leverage here or an option for myself if Trey Lance plays well.
I get all of that. I'm saying from a former backup quarterback, he brought up that was interesting that they didn't do everything they could to get their backup quarterback ready
Did
to
you
play.
see how Babe looked when he played?
Listen.
Yeah.
Listen. Again, this
Love
is
you,
his
babe.
perspective. We got our perspective. I'm just saying it's interesting.
Because they was going to the playoffs in '91.
Okay, it was his perspective that he just said they didn't do enough to get their backup quarterback. Now the quarterback is thrown in there. Certainly got some reps in games, but it's just interesting that the focus has been on the third quarterback. And realistically, ever since Dak got hurt, as much as Mike says Cooper Rush is our guy, everybody on the outside have been saying what? Play Trey Lance.
That's because he represents what you don't know and the possibility
I
of what
understand
might
Because you got a head coach who needs to win to have any chance of being here. And the public and the rest of the organization is like, what's the point of the rest of this?
Right, and that's what's always been muddled about what's going on here. The main thing has not always been about the main thing.
It's rarely about the main thing.
Yeah, and so, Cooper Rush, Mike McCarthy wants to start, and the team believes in Cooper Rush, and everybody outside say, let's see what Trey Lance got. The season's over.
But that's because to the fan base, and we know lots of fans individually.
And media, not just fan base. Media people have written the same thing. He wrote it today.
It makes sense.
I'm not saying
you made a big investment in this guy. You're going to let him leave the organization without ever knowing if he could play?
And I'm down with that because the season is over.
That part.
The math tells you you're not making the playoffs.
The math don't know. They're not mathematically eliminated.
The realistic math.
No, you said the math.
They've had 36 playoff teams in Cowboys history. One of them has come back from 3 and 6 to make the playoffs.
The math says the season's over, even though technically it's not over. So,
the problem
is Mike got to try to do what he got to do.
Well, until they are officially been eliminated, he's going to do what he got to do.
Week 2. I mean, 2 weeks left in the season.
So when does the general manager and the owner say he wants to see Trey Lance?
Depending on how bad they get beat this
week.
week.
The funny thing is the general manager offered up Trey Lance being used in packages, and certainly the coach shot that down. We don't have enough practice time.
The first thing Mike said on Monday was, it's Cooper's turn. We're turning it over to him. We're about winning games.
Right.
We're about improving on offense and what we did well in Atlanta. He had no interest in playing Trey Lance. And then Jerry, like you're saying, sort of contradicted him on his own radio show the next day, saying he had a lot of interest in seeing Trey Lance play.
And yes, because
they're at cross purposes here.
Say yes, the owner wants to see it because hey, it's an investment I made.
I've taken nothing but criticism for this. I think this guy could play, or I wouldn't have made this deal. Now I'm going to blame McCarthy if he gets out of this organization and he goes and plays somewhere else.
And that's just the problem because it's also the same owner that the day before said I'm not giving up on the season. The same owner that on this same radio
locker room
talk about we can have a fantasy finish and win this season. So you can't serve two masters.
Well,
your mama told you a long time ago.
You can if you think Trey Lance might do something that Cooper Rush can't.
And that's the thing about the Mike McCarthy thing. You can't. When he talked about Trey Lance is that you can't. When we talk about you don't know about him, he talked about his background. You can't undo his undeveloped background. The guy threw 400.
Not without playing him.
Well, that's what he's talking about. That the problem, and we've been talking about how quarterbacks, all the misses on quarterbacks, because they haven't played enough in college. Let me finish. He had 417 passes from high school through Boise State. That's all the passes he threw.
So let's run him through here and never let him throw a regular season pass.
I'm sorry, 417 passes. And then he may have threw another 150 more passes in live games. He hasn't had enough time on task to know what he is.
Well, there's only one way to get that. And, at the start of the year when Dak's here, what's the conversation? There's only one way for Trey Lance to play this year.
Dak gets hurt. And now Dak gets hurt and he's still not playing.
I mean, that was his only way to play.
His problem is the 5-interception game at the end of the preseason.
Oh, yeah. But
that's his problem.
And again, he also is beholden to the rest of the team. I mean, I'm not just going to offer up a guy that he doesn't think. It'd be different if they thought he was ready. You know, to say, let's just throw something against the wall and see if it sticks, that's what you're basically saying. Because he does not believe the guy is ready.
They've been getting him ready for a year and a half. What about the quarterback school?
So the point is, they've watched him play for a year and a half and don't think he's ready.
So they can't coach him up?
No.
So
they can't undo the underdevelopment in a year and a half in practice. No.
I go back to something Clarence had said to me before about Trey Lance and comparing it to Patrick Mahomes. Totally different players, but from the standpoint that, and Clark Hunt even told me this too, Clark said he got reports when Patrick was a rookie, like, hey, man, this guy's slinging practice.
Every practice, it's something.
Like, boy, we saw this, we saw that. And Clarence, you said nobody's ever said that about Trey Lance in Cowboy practice.
Because we got the same reports about Romo.
Right, you watch the guy, but no one's whispering, well, this guy's tearing up. There's been none of that, so they've seen the guy in practice. They don't think he's ready.
They thought DiNucci was going to be special.
No.
Compared him to Romo.
They was just throwing, they was just saying.
That was just one Pittsburgh guy taking care of the machine.
What they said was he can sling it. It might not be accurate, but he can sling it.
You're willing to play Ben DiNucci, but not Trey Lance. Then why did you ever give a fourth-round pick for this guy?
Oh, my gosh.
Because they got him in. They thought he could play, then they got him in here.
DiNucci was a Pittsburgh guy. That was a personal thing.
The coach wanted DiNucci. The coach wasn't even consulted on the trade for Trey Lance.
And what's also true is, go back to DiNucci, played a lot in college. Trey Lance has not played a lot.
But how are you going to say, well, the guy's never played, so he's no good? Play him.
He need to go to the XFL in the spring.
In UFL and no XFL.
Yeah, UFL, XFL.
The Cowboys could rediscover him there. That's where they signed Aubrey.
That's where he needs to go.
He needs to play. He needs to go somewhere where he can play and
but he's here now.
And allowed to make mistakes.
But he's here now. They gave up something for him.
There have been no whispers about any type of this guy can play.
I know. And he played poorly in the preseason, and that's his biggest problem.
Let's take a break. Should Dak Prescott shut it down?
That's a medical decision.
Let's talk about that next.
You mean like DeRon's
Let's talk about that next. He was setting it up, man.
I know, man. I'm just messing with him.
No, you're not.
I mean, I've done daily radio.
It was trying to tease.
Come up with a new one. Let me see you come up with a better one.
You're trying to tease.
You know what, Jock? You don't have to be here next week.
You see the truth coming out.
All I got to do is talk to El Jefe. You know what? I talked to El Jefe over here.
The head of the mob just spoke. I know who got me fired on Tuesday now.
Ada Theta over here.
See?
Clarence
See,
Hill,
your own
Ed
people.
Warner,
See?
Jacques Taylor.
He not already fired me from
Media
Sunday night.
Mash. Right
Will we be replacing him, or will we all have a bigger role?
It's the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black. And right now, Cowboys fans can get 15% off their $75 order. Plus, because every deal needs a playmaker, your order will include a free 5-piece skincare set and free shipping. The Jack Black Playmaker is 4 of Jack's favorites and a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Make a play for the Playmaker at getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP.
Raising Cane's presents the other rules of football. Rule 1. Any broadcast without the express addition of cooked-to-order Cane's chicken fingers is prohibited. Rule 12. No crinkle-cut fries, Texas toast, or craveable Cane sauce constitutes an illegal formation. And Rule 31, anybody who loves to feed their game face is an eligible receiver of Cane's. When it comes to winning game day, Cane's rules. Raising Cane's chicken fingers. One love. Go Cowboys.
Drawback finds Pearson. It's caught. Touchdown.
The Dallas Morning News delivers full press coverage of the Cowboys.
Bateman straight drop, throws it over the middle. Irvin in for the touchdown, Cowboys.
We cover your Cowboys from the preseason to the postseason and beyond.
Boot to the right. Looking down the field. Lamb. Victory.
Game by game, play by play. No one delivers your Cowboys like the Dallas Morning News. Connect deeper to the Dallas Cowboys with the Dallas Morning News.
Hey, Cowboy fans, I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. But lately, I've been learning a new game, crypto. Sound confusing? Don't worry, even us pros were rookies in crypto once. That's why I trust blockchain.com. They make crypto easy. No confusing jargon, just the tools to help you win.
Prescott keeps it, slides with a first down.
Invest like your icons, where everyone is a rookie in crypto with blockchain.com.
Perfect throw, my goodness. Wow, did he ever thread the needle.
Visit blockchain.com/Cowboys to get started.
to Media Mash.
Media Mash.
Let's get personal on here, boy.
Most trusted, El Jefe. He is Clarence Hill. All City Dallas. No vowels. No vowels in the shirt. And it fits, too. Good look on you there, Clarence.
Appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
Ed Werder, the Hall of Famer, is here. Jacques Taylor, the author. I'm Newy Scruggs. Just merely Newy Scruggs here. So, Jacques, we were talking about Dak Prescott. Should he play the rest of the year? And you said?
That's a medical decision. No, on the real, I mean, it seems pointless if it's off the bone, if he needs surgery, if it's going to take him 5 or 6 weeks to come back. There's zero need to come back to a team that should be out of the playoffs technically or near technically by then. Plus, if you don't come back at the end of the year, you have no excuse not to play Trey Lance.
Hamstring injury, by the way, just for
not just a hamstring injury.
Most trusted. Go through it.
Not just a hamstring injury. It's James Jones found out. You know, it's not all hamstring injuries aren't the same, but it's meat off the bone. You know, you go back to the Joseph Randall's who left meat on the bone.
That's painful.
This hamstring is partially off the bone. And you remember, Tyron Smith had his hamstring completely torn off the bone. He was out from August until December. He missed the first 13 games. Right? He missed first 13 games of the season. Dak is not completely torn, but there's meat off the bone, so to speak. We know he's out at least 4 weeks. And we were talking to Jordan Lewis today. He said that's at least 6 weeks, you know, for sure. And that's if you don't have surgery. And surgery is an option, and Dak is seeing second opinions and weighing all different kind of options, which is why the Cowboys have made no definitive decision on putting him on the IR as of yet. He told me yesterday they have no choice but to put him on IR. But he's getting the second and third opinions. He wants to play, of course, but it's hamstring off the bone.
Do you feel the slightest bit guilty in this whole thing? He wasn't running. Dak was not a running quarterback. Right? Jerry said he didn't want him to be a running quarterback. And then Clarence gets up there last week and insults him by telling him how many Aaron Rodgers, Joe Flacco, Tom Brady in his last year all have more rushing yards than you.
Van Brocklin got more rushing yards.
Yeah, I mean, all
every
these,
white quarterback.
And there he goes. There he goes. Right to IR.
You should have seen his reaction. He
I was standing there.
Man.
I just want to know, do you feel bad?
I have the picture.
Not that picture, man.
I should have seen his reaction. The funny thing about it is that he did say he intentionally ran more in the game. You know, he talked about that.
He said he thought he had something to add.
Yeah, he had something to add. And we were talking about
and he has the longest run for the Cowboys all year.
Yeah. The problem is when he hit that corner, just get the first down, he tried to turn it up and get more yards.
That's because you.
You know, like, shut that thing
he
down.
Thought, this will put me past Aaron Rodgers.
You can't.
This will put me past Joe Flacco.
You can't drop that thing in fifth gear if you only been idling and going to second and third all season. He tried to put it in
that
fifth.
Pressure from you.
Just get the first down.
It's
pressure
really,
from you,
because I was looking at that play, and then I saw some other plays, but he looked slow on that run, even though he gained 22 yards or whatever.
He's not fast.
No, but I'm comparing it to just like a couple years ago before he got hurt, where you're like, that's just part of his game. That's what he do. And then you think about even with like Zeke, you see some highlights from Zeke from 2016 to now, and it's just amazing. They just look like, Father Time. That's why he's undefeated.
And you can see it because clearly he tore it on the run, but you can see it on the pass. Mike McCarthy talked about it. The screen pass to Jake Ferguson, that would have gone for a touchdown. That couldn't get the ball out there.
He couldn't manipulate the ball around.
Yeah, because of the hamstring. That was his last play. He couldn't get the ball out there, and you could see it on the throws. And he said, obviously he said on the throws when he felt something that he'd never felt before, but he heard it on the run. And that's what it is. It's funny because we go to training camp. People, you guys got to run a 40. You guys are to run a 40. Man, I'm not running no 40. When you haven't sprinted, and I don't care what kind of workouts you do, if you haven't actually sprinted and gave it all you got, and you haven't done it in a long time, your body will talk to you. I can tell you.
Back when he plays tennis now.
Huh? No.
I don't remember you telling Dak all this when you were telling him to take off and run.
He works out every day.
And you're saying that doesn't matter. You should have been saying, Well, if you do follow my advice,
Listen.
don't try and
listen.
go all out. Don't open it up.
It's funny because if you remember, me and Tommy Robinson raced outside of Valley Ranch. You remember?
Yeah.
And you timed us.
I don't know that I timed you.
But you watched us race outside. We both pulled up. I couldn't even pull.
But you're 100 years old.
This was back in the.
Okay, you're 90.
This was in '99. This was under Chan Gailey.
Were you
Cowboys.
ever fast?
Yes, I was Chan Gailey Cowboys.
Don't go down that road.
Oh yeah, that's why I was running. Tommy played college football.
The lies.
I'm just trying to get the man to take responsibility for what he's done to the starting quarterback.
Don't get him start telling stories like
You finna get I ran barefoot for money in Kansas City.
Man, I used to run for money. That's not a big. Yes, I could run. And that's why I was running Tommy. And Tommy played college football. We both.
I only meant for this to be a humorous aside. I didn't mean for this to go on for 20 minutes.
It's still
turn into
humorous.
this.
I know. It's still what it is. But
sorry, Newy.
Getting back to the Dak Prescott. Yeah, he's hurt, and there's a question of whether it's just the season ending. And you point out that if it's 6 weeks, and what's the point of coming back for the last 3 games?
Because if he's healthy and there's season to play, he's going to want to play.
And he's going to play, and because of what they paid him, he has to play.
It's his job.
He has to play.
He'll think it's his job to finish the season.
And that's why you need a strong head coach. Say, sit your ass down for a minute.
No, the owner don't want to get his money worth.
You made a different point than what I made.
Can you be a strong head coach when your contract's running out?
No, you can only be a strong head coach if you're Jerry or Bill. Them the only two strong head coaches we've had around here.
You said Jerry?
Jimmy?
You said
he did. He said Jerry.
I meant
Coach.
Jerry.
You said Coach Jerry.
Coach.
He got fired 10 minutes ago. He wants to make sure he's back.
Yes, Jimmy and Bill.
You said Coach Jerry.
Everybody else has been happy
makes
to have
all
a job.
employment decisions.
No, don't try. You already did it.
You ain't off the hook.
You already painted him for death.
You see, telling me and Chris how to run the show.
Yeah, don't try. Don't try to.
Eight theta, Omega Bros.
Don't try to put the genie back in the bottle.
No.
Should we point out as we close this segment, Newy, not trying to do your job, but
There you go.
Man, you're a Hall of Famer.
I was going to say we started this segment talking about Cooper Rush.
We got an injury report?
He had a lot of success. He's 5-1, which is the best winning percentage of any quarterback in the NFL that started more than 5 games in that period of time. But he had a better run game, right? He didn't have 2 rookie offensive linemen. And defensively, they give up 17 or fewer points in all 5 of his wins. What do you think the chances are the Eagles are going to score fewer than 17 points?
And Vic Fangio is back, the man who unleashed the blueprint, the original blueprint.
He put the blueprint out to stop Dak, not Cooper.
This is where he's gone wrong.
He put that blueprint out to stop
when he was
Dak.
the Broncos coordinator. Was that Thanksgiving game?
He didn't stop Dak
when he was the head coach.
Oh, was he?
He didn't necessarily stop Dak against the Dolphins last year. It was the defense that stopped Dak against the Dolphins last year.
And he won the game.
It was Tony Pollard going the wrong way on what should have been a touchdown.
But he put him in the lead with 3 minutes left.
That's why Tony's in Tennessee.
Tony is the 10th leading rusher
Pretty good.
in the National Football League right now.
He's leading in the league in yards after contact.
So the top five of the top 11 rushing leaders right now in the NFL are free agents. Derrick Henry, Saquon Barkley, Josh Jacobs, Tony Pollard, and J.K. Dobbins. J.K. Dobbins.
Where's Rico Dowdle?
Where's Rico?
How deep does that list go?
I stopped that.
They're not last in the league in rushing anymore. They're 31st.
That's
They
right.
passed the Raiders.
31st, 82 yards a game. Meanwhile, Philadelphia comes in second-ranked running attack in the league.
Kellen Moore doesn't run the football, does he? Isn't that? Didn't we hear a quote about that?
Kellen Moore does what Howie Roseman tells him.
Kellen Moore wants to blow up scoreboards. He doesn't want to run the football. and rest his defense.
You know what Mike McCarthy said the other day, that they're doing more of what Philadelphia did than what Kellen Moore did in Dallas and what Kellen Moore did with the Chargers. He's running their offense. They're not running his offense.
So we're still not wanting to give Kellen Moore any credit.
I'm just telling you what Mike McCarthy said, that the offense looks more like that.
That's right. We just had this conversation.
What motivation would there be for that?
Strawberry haterade.
At the end of the day,
he's calling the plays. He's the coordinator,
and he's running their offense.
And it's really simple. Give the ball to Saquon. I mean, Brian Daboll
throw it to him.
Get a ball to Saquon. Run the tush push.
Is that your quarterback? Is that?
You know what's interesting is, and I guess disconcerting if you're the Cowboys fan, is we were talking to Jordan Lewis, and he was describing the difficulty of playing a team with a running quarterback and a great running back. And I asked him, is this team like the Ravens? And he said, Yeah, they're like the Ravens, except for they have 2 receivers they can throw to on the outside, and they have a running back they can throw to on the outside. So all of a sudden, it's like, this seems better offensively than the Ravens.
And a tight end. Yeah, he said they're more explosive than the Ravens.
So before we go, we have Thursday night football. So I at least want to get your beautiful opinions on Thursday night football here. The Ravens are hosting the Bengals tonight. So Ed, give me a score here, Ed.
I'm going with the Ravens 27-23.
JJT.
Ravens, I like Zach Orr, their defense coordinator, but their defense is not that good this year. I think there's a high-scoring affair today. I'm going to say the Ravens 37-33.
41-38 last time they played earlier in the season.
See?
37-33?
Yeah.
Where is the game?
Baltimore,
sir. Baltimore is a 6.5-point favorite.
And they wearing purple helmets for the first time.
Yeah, they wearing purple helmets. Give me the Ravens. Certainly Zach Orr. I know him. I know his dad. His dad was his Omega Eta Theta brother. Played with the Washington Commanders, Redskins back in the day.
Terry is a good friend of mine.
North Texas.
Give me
24-hour fitness.
Give me give me that offense, the Ravens offense.
I think he's the OC at Hebron or something.
31-28.
31-28, close score here. All right. Once again, Eta Theta, bro, huh? See, Eta Theta bros they run things. Mm-hmm. Just so you know. All right. Eta Theta's own Make Sci-Fi member. He is Clarence Hill. Come see him tonight. Cowboys and Chill. Tell everybody where.
Echo Lounge, Carrollton, right off of George Bush in Midway.
All right. And if Joe can't make it, Ed Werder, can you fill in for Joe Trahan tonight?
Are you asking me to be Joe's backup?
Hey, baby, I'm just asking you to help out Clarence.
I'll do anything for Clarence.
There you go. That's
exactly.
my guy.
The Hall of Famer, Ed Werder, the author, Jean-Jacques Taylor. We appreciate you. You've done Cowboys and Chill many times.
We didn't pick the Cowboy game.
Oh, that's right. You guys aren't here tomorrow. My bad. Okay, Ed.
And today, Thursday, sir?
I'm picking Philly.
I'm so used to the media, the Players Lounge. But Philly, yes.
34-20.
34-20.
That's a good score.
JJT.
Philly. 37-17.
37-17. Well, butt whooping and Chill.
Philly 35-14.
35-14. Woo!
What are you going with? You already picked it in the paper.
Philadelphia.
Cover?
Yes. What's the spread? I don't even.
It's
like 8.
At the end of the day,
6.
Cooper Rush is a good football player, but he's not a magician. There's just a lot of things missing on this team right now, and it's hard. It's just hard right now. It's hard for the Cowboys.
Dak can't win with this team. How can you expect Cooper Rush to win with this team?
If you can't run it, you can't stop the run, and the man who got the blueprint rolling is coming into town. Vic Fangio and Kellen Moore is going to try to do a Dan Campbell. We're going to run it up and throw it to offensive linemen and do what I can. Kellen's revenge is what he'll do. Thank you, gentlemen. We'll do it next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday.
Tuesday. Thank you, Eta Theta, brother. He says we're back
Even though they're
Tuesday.
going into it, that's a Monday night game next week.
Oh. Eta Theta, let me know.
No. Next Tuesday is fine.
Clarence said it's fine. We'll be here on
Monday night.
Working around Clarence's schedule now?
The Monday night is the following Tuesday.
Yes.
Yeah.
And yes, we do work around Clarence. Goodbye.
He's a lie.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!